Ooh, spooky. Let's draw a spooky forest. Hello there, my name's Philip and welcome to Totally Amazing. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a spooky forest. So in the previous episode I showed you how to draw a tree and how to draw a forest. Now you don't necessarily need to know that, but it will help you for what we're going to do today. So I'll leave a link for you to check out that episode. So first of all, let me show you something. This here is the forest in our street. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? We call it the spooky forest. Why? That's why. Nighttime, oh man, it's terrifying up there. So is darkness all you need to make a forest look spooky? Well, it helps, but it's not the only thing, because you can still make a forest look spooky during the day. Hot tip, a spooky forest invites you in, but it doesn't let you out. Ooh. Okay, so here we have the forest that we drew in our previous episode. It doesn't look too scary, does it? It just looks like a normal forest. How about now? We put a corridor there, so now there's an entrance to the forest. So now we've got this corridor. Where does it go? Where does it lead? Who's in there? What's in there? What makes the forest look more scary is that it holds you in. No, it doesn't matter whether there's leaves on the trees or if there's just dead branches. If it leads you in, where's it going to lead you to? And can you get out? That's what makes the forest spooky. So what we're going to do today, we're going to draw two sets of forests. One is going to have a canopy of leaves at the top, so it's going to be a healthy looking forest, but it's still going to look spooky. The other, it's going to have dead trees, dead gnarled trees looking up, and that's going to be clearly very spooky. Okay, so we're going to put a line in the middle so we can compare the two. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off by drawing two trees, because this will make our corridor. So I'm going to have lines up. Remember, we're think of like your hands with the fingers spreading up. And over this side we've got another tree. But essentially what we have here is the corridor, or the entrance into our spooky forest. That's what makes it more spooky. If it's just plain trees in front, it's not as spooky, but if there's an entrance which you can lead to, that's what makes it more of a spooky, enchanted forest. So now what we want to do is we want to have a few more trees in the background, and we can even have some in the corridor as well, just to help show that the corridor is leading somewhere. Now what we want to do is we just want to put in our leaves at the top, which we're doing by just drawing some clouds. So essentially what we're doing with the leaves, it's creating a canopy. So it's like there's a box on top of our entrance into the forest that helps enclose us in. So that's our spooky forest with the healthy leaves at the top. So over this side, what we're going to do, we're going to draw it with our gnarled trees. Now, if you want a hint for how to draw more dead trees, have a look at your hand and look at the veins on your hand, where they're going. That'll help you give you an idea of what the branches are going to look like. Whereas when you're drawing leaves, you don't need to do that. But with the branches, you want it to lead out to a point. Your veins on your hand are a good guide for that. Okay, so let's start putting in our trees. But this time they're going to be just gnarled trees with dead leaves on them, dead branches on. So what we're doing is we're reaching out again, but this time we're going to a point. You can have them sort of thinner as they go back. Now we can still have some in our corridor like this, but as long as it shows that it's coming in, you still want them to come in. So you essentially still want this space fairly clear, but it helps us show a bit more bulk of the forest. But you don't want them to be very thin because they're further back, whereas these guys here are our main trees. So there's our spooky forest. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in our moon, and we're going to have a cloud coming in. But these clouds aren't going to be fluffy clouds, they're going to be more pointy clouds. So they come into a point like that. This is more of a spooky style cloud. There you go. So there's our really spooky forest, and there's our enchanted spooky forest. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get our marker and we're going to ink in the lines that we want to keep, and we're going to rub out the ones we don't. Okay, so with this one you'll notice I actually went over a lot of the lines of the trees. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to colour the trees to make them completely black. So what I'm going to use for that, I'm going to use my Faber-Castell 8-bit black pens, and I'm actually using the brush pen because that's really good for spreading a lot of ink really quickly. Okay, so we've got these two pictures of our spooky forest. So this one's gonna be more of a forest during the day. This one's gonna be a forest during the night. Okay, so we're gonna start coloring now, and I'm gonna start using my Prismacolors, and oh boy, these things are amazing. We just got these things. Oh, the color just falls out of them. It's amazing. So I'm gonna leave a link below for you to check them out, and I'm also gonna let you know which color I'm actually using as I'm using it. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting down just a soft base color for now. And as I go along, I'm gonna get heavier. Now I'm going to put in just a few extra markings of brown in between, just to fill in the gaps, but also give the impression that there's more to this forest. Look at that, the colour's just falling out of them. My goodness. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put a bit of a purple as we go further back. So it gives the hint of more of a mystical element behind the trees in front. So now I'm going to work on the canopy a bit. So I want really dark underneath, whereas the top can be lovely and inviting to make you want to enter this forest, not knowing what's inside though. There you go. Essentially you have an entrance, and there's a focal point where you want to follow into. So now we're going to start working on our dark side. So you see this side and you think more of a nighttime feel. Well, we're not going to do black because otherwise it's just going to be a black blob and you're not going to see anything. So we're going to put in like a purpley feel to give it more of a spooky-esque feel. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put in the clouds, and they're going to be fairly dark because they're behind the light source, which is our moon. So I'm going to make sure they're the darkest, apart from the actual shadow of the trees themselves. These are going to be the darker part. Now this is our main light source, so we're going to start from it and move out. But also going to put a bit of lightness in our corridor to invite you in, to gobble you up. Sorry. For an added extra little touch, I might just grab my brush pen again and just put in a little bat flying away. Just like that. Oh, that's done the ticket, hasn't it? So there you go, guys. The basics on how to draw a spooky mystical forest. What you want to have is a corridor that your eyes drawn into. We've done it in a normal forest where it's a healthy forest, but it's still, there's something mystical about it, and also with a dead, enchanted, dark forest. So I hope you enjoyed drawing a spooky forest with me today. If you did, like, subscribe, and ring that bell button so you can get notified as soon as our next episode comes out for something more exciting for you to draw. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. How to draw a forest. Now, you don't necessarily need to have watched that episode, but it's kind of really going to help. So, yeah. There's a link down below. So I hope you found today's zip. Was that all right?